As the Minnesota Vikings are set to open up free agency next week, we know one former Viking who is probably going to stay a former Viking in safety, Jayron Kearse. So he was on the social medias yesterday, and he tweeted this out. In response to, you see this all the time, free agency, everyone's speculating. It's like, oh, they'd love to have this guy back. So Jayron's just replying to one of those type of tweets, and he said, quote, "No, Jayron doesn't want to come back," end quote. Yeah, so that sort of ends it. That's the thing about free agency is like if the player doesn't want to be there and they're unrestricted free agent, they don't have to be there. And Kearse has put out tweets and social media like this before where it's pretty clear that he felt a little slighted by the Vikings, especially towards the end. And you can't really fault him. I mean, we have seen moments of brilliance with Jayron Kearse, but then also he's just been benched. Seemingly in Zimmer's doghouse all the time. Just never really fully got the time of day that maybe he deserved, hell, frankly. But also, I mean, what are you going to really do? I mean, you know, barring injury, alien abduction, you have Harrison Smith and you have Anthony Harris, who was rising up, becoming one of the best safeties in the league. And yeah, Jayron Kearse was really good at that niche, you know, big nickel, smaller, weak side linebacker. Like even the talk about him moving to linebacker, where he played a very unique role in the Zimmer defense, and it's one that's picking up around the league. But I mean, there was never really a spot for him as a traditional safety. And frankly, I don't know if he would have succeeded to the level of, say, like Anthony Harris or certainly Harrison Smith if he would have gotten in there. And also, you know, so this is what happened all the time on social media. So Jayron puts that out there, then all the replies are, care to elaborate? Care to give us an explanation? No, of course he doesn't want to do that. And also, like half of the replies were about his gun charges. Everyone likes to troll him. I mean, Kearse, of course, got probation and community service for his DWI and gun possession without a permit charges from October, the Vikings bye week. But you know, the question is, Vikings have cap space right now, have about $19 million in cap after moving on from Linval, David Morgan, and Xavier Rhodes, and now the Vikings potentially looking inward at all the free agents because you do have Anthony Harris, who probably isn't going to resign, probably going to be cost prohibitive. Jayron Kearse, that probably deuces, and then also, I mean, Sendejo's out there, Weatherly, Everson, I mean, Linval if they want to bring him back. But I like Jayron. I think Jayron is imminently replaceable. I think Jayron is going to be one of the more easier pieces to replace, and also maybe one that's not going to end up in Zimmer's doghouse, which is certainly possible. Where if given my choice, given the Vikings cap situation, if you can bring back Anthony Harris at 12 or Jayron at 4, I would bring back Anthony. Is he really 3 times the value of Jayron Kearse? Yeah, I think so. I do think so because, like we said, Jayron does play a specific role in the Vikings defense, but Anthony Harris really did become that every single down one of the better free safeties in the league, and I think that has a lot more value. So even though Jayron certainly had his moments, like he basically won the end of that Denver game by himself, completing that massive comeback, but like we mentioned, just always. He just disappeared. Like it never seemed like he got the snap count like he deserved. And when he was on the field, great things did seem to happen. But I mean, I'm sure Zimmer had his hashtag reasons for why Jayron was never really out there. Where what conceivably would have been a great spot for Jayron is that New Orleans, the wild card round game, right? So Jayron, big Kearse, working in the slot, and Zimmer did end up using a safety in the slot to match up most of the time against Michael Thomas, except it was Andrew Sendejo, who had never played slot before. So there it is. But also, I think this does ramp up the priority of re-signing Andrew Sendejo. I think you can get him extremely cheap, potentially for the league minimum, with nothing guaranteed. Because right now, if the Vikings didn't re-sign Sendejo, I think they're missing out on Harris. Kearse obviously isn't going to be back. And then you could potentially have like a day 3 rookie starting at safety opposite Harrison Smith. It's probably not a great idea. So I say re-sign Sendejo. Safety obviously becomes more of a priority in the draft. If you have a chance to get Delpit or McKinney from Alabama or Winfield, in that late round 1, early round 2 range, if you make some moves, I think it would behoove you to do it. But yeah, Jayron Kearse, appreciate your time in Purple, man. Wish you nothing but the best down the line, but just didn't really work out here. Is what it is. But also, I think he's pretty easily replaceable. But your thoughts, Jayron Kearse? Deuces. Let us know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work? Pull us up in the Venmo. Let's give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.